Good morning, Rabbi Isai. LEYLU NISHMAS Mordche. We have a record of videos saying the same thing. Rabbi Isai, here we go. I just want to repeat this one because I wanted to show it yesterday. We're running out of time. From North Korea to the ski slopes, phenomenal recruitment video for the new volume. Avrami Traub sends his message from 12,000. Here we go.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Here I am at 12,000 feet skiing. If you think about it, doing the Daf and going skiing is very similar. I'm sure you're wondering why. The reason being that at the beginning of the ski day, it's very difficult. You have to schlep your skis, you have to take the lifts. Once you've started, there's nothing better. Same as doing the Daf. In the beginning, you might find it difficult, it might be hard. But once you've started, there's nothing better. So join today, get onto the train and join the MDY Daf Yomi.
Rabbi Isai, Henach Schwinger, look up at Purim, sending all over Manchester.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai.
Yes, believe it or not, we actually brush our teeth here in the UK at least once a week. It's the ha, not ah. It's a different version. You didn't chab, the dag is dick. Mechi, brand wine. This is getting out of hand, Avi. Look, okay. Shivas Lev Torah. Lev Torah. Good morning.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai.
So Rabbi Josh Brody on the right, Simcha Firestone, your good friend of Boca Raton, Florida, on the BRS flying trip. Meet Peretz Chaim Levina Yeshiva Torah Vadas in Brooklyn on the way to meet with Rabbi Yisrael Reisman.
Why is he spending time with these guys? They signed up for it.
They found him there. We're in a recording studio in Edgeworth Studios in New York, working on the finals vocals for Melech Cohen's upcoming new groundbreaking album, Been a While. Many of the recording producers and Melech himself are MDYers and huge fans of MDY. Please enjoy this video, the sample from Melech's new track, Been a While, with some new vocals inspired by Nachman Seltzer, of course. Thanks for everything you do, Melech Cohen and the Landed Eagle Records team. Here we go.
It's not about the Daf, it's about the Yomi. I heard him from Rav Eli Stefansky. It's not about the Daf, it's about the Yomi. Good morning, Rabbi Isai.
Oh, yeah. And here, Manchester Chaverim, they got together for a night of fun. Shimmy Leafman, of course. Eli Melech Neidler. I recently joined the Rebbe's Daf Yomi. I learned a little Daf Yomi 18 years ago. Got interrupted by life events and decided afterwards not to learn Daf Yomi again. I was inspired, however, by a clip of Rav Stefansky speaking at the Thursday night Mishmar here in Los Angeles. I said, if one guy will join, it's Kedai to speak. So here, I got the one guy. I decided to, after 18 years, not 37 years, 18 years, to give it another try. Once I received my free Gemara, 2 weeks ago, I've learned every day and love it. I went through each blot until I caught up with the shir for the past 10 years. I'm totally caught up in learning the actual Daf Yomi together with the Olam. The art school is really helping me. I heard the Rav Stefansky say, you can get Nazir Volume 2 if you learned every Daf. And I'm hoping my situation qualifies. You can send me a Nazir 2. I even signed up for a Twitter account for the first time so I could retweet the announcement about this. I don't know exactly how that works. Thank you, forever grateful to Rav Stefansky and you all. So I put it in green on the screen. HTTP bit that LEB means learn every blot of Nazir. LEB Nazir. That's what it stands for. Dear Rebelli, I want to thank you for changing my husband's life. Since he started MDY, he's been so busy every day, all day. He spends thousands of hours in front of the mirror talking to himself. When I ask what he's doing, he says he's chazering. So I want to thank you for taking our family from Tuna to Torah and my husband from Netflix to the Purim shpiel. Ms. Jonathan Stefansky. Really? P.S. Our grandson Shimi really does know how to say ah. Okay. Listen, once I have the mic and we're reading emails from wives, everything goes. You're going to be hearing from Jonathan's wife all year long, Beis Hashem. I didn't hear what did he say? Yeah, I didn't tell my wife about it yet, Jonathan. No, she's actually flying. She didn't see it yet. When she gets back, she's getting back today. Anonymous from Lakewood is the sponsor of the Koilo. Second sponsor by supporting Torah, strengthening our B'tachan. The Koilo of the day, sponsored for one day. LEYLU NISHMAS Yitzchak Meir ben Gershon Zechron Levracha on his 6th yard side today. The Neshama should have an aliyah. The Masechta is sponsored by Maaser. The second sponsor of the Masechta is LEYLU NISHMAS Chaya Bas Yosef by Anon Ymous. Yesterday was the last day of Sprinzinel and Gross. LEYLU NISHMAS, their fathers. It's interesting that I was watching yesterday Masechta's Megillah. I'm trying to do Megillah before Purim, and he was also the sponsor on that day's Daf. I think it was Megillah Amud Beis. So Yishkoyach Sprinzinel and Gross for the month. Paras HaChodesh, the MDY family, LEYLU NISHMAS Boruch, Helfgott, Zechron Levracha, Ben Yibadal Chaim, Mordche, Shloima, the Neshama should have an aliyah. The second sponsor of the month, LEYLU NISHMAS Zechraya ben Mordche. The third sponsor of the month, LEYLU NISHMAS Mordche ben Yehuda, by his community. There's a new one? By his community, LEYLU NISHMAS Mordche ben Yehuda. Who's that? Do we know? Okay. 1 week sponsor, Igor Zilberman, LEYLU NISHMAS Kasil ben leyzer. Much better. And Mayor Spilman, in honor of the purim shpiel, and all the Hatzolah members still learning the Daf K24. Does that have to do with that? What did you say yesterday, Jonathan? It was K45, and this is K24. Interesting. Chaim Hindy Snow, Lirfua Shloima, Yisrael Yosef ben Hinda Chana, Rafus Hanefesh, Rafus Haguf, Rafus Haneshama. Amen. The art, the sponsor for complete Rafua for Chaim Tzvi ben Leah. Okay, Rabbi Isai, I want everybody to please turn to Daf Lamed Gimel Amud Aleph. And there you'll see, and then, once you're there, Lamed Gimel Amud Aleph, turn to Lamed Gimel Amud Beis. It is the shortest Daf in Shas, and that's happening in 2 days, so relax. It wasn't planned like this, but relax. I was nervous for a month. What am I going to do with those 6 lines on Motzei Shabbos? Who knows? We might still catch up, but if not, there's nothing to worry about. And by the way, those Tosfos on Lamed Gimel Amud Beis have nothing to do with that Daf. It's for a different Daf completely. It's for Daf Lamed Aleph. It says here on the top. This entire thing is for a different Daf. So it's actually a very easy 6 lines, and therefore very easy to catch up. Rabbi Isai, we're holding 6 lines from the top of Chof Tes Amud Beis. Today is Daf Chof. Today is Lamed. Daf Lamed. So Leime Ketanoi. Perhaps this is Machloikis Tanoi. What? We were talking about Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish when a father has the right to who? Ooh, a tremendous mazel tov to Eli Dolinsky and his son Dovi. Yeah, Dovi. Dovi's a chassan. Dovi's a very big part of MDY. He actually is the one that helped put up the cameras and this and that. A very big tzaddik, Techani, I forgot her name. Ackerman from Beitar. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Okay. Now that we have, I don't have no idea what time it is. Oh, we have so much time. The Machlokes Rabbi Yochanan and Shlokish, why it is that a father has the right to make his son a Nazir? Is it a halacha l'mishma Sinai, or is it a mitzvah of chinuch? He's trying to be mechanech his son. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's a different lemika. Let me get that. Ad mosai madir as benoi ben Nazir. We have machlokes here. When, up until what age can a father make his son a Nazir? Ad shiyavi shtei sa'aros divri Rebbe. The son needs to be 13 years old plus shtei sa'aros. Which, every time we talk about it, I like to say this, that midiraisa, a katan does not become a gadol until he is 13 plus shtei sa'aros. So that is, if you go to somebody's bar mitzvah, you don't know 100% if he's a gadol or not, because you didn't check. So midirabanan, it's fine. But midiraisa, he cannot be moiti anybody in diraisa. So, If he wants to be Maitz's mother and Kiddush, he cannot, unless we know for a fact that he's a Gadol. 13 alone is not enough. And we also discussed it in Sukkah. If you could buy Aravis from a child who says that he's 13, perhaps he's not. It could be that you're not Yaitze B'chlal if you buy from somebody that's... In the Eraises, it's a big problem. Ayin Sham, each in their own V'chulu. Pasha Zachar, could he be Maitzi in Pasha Zachar? That's why they don't allow 13-year-olds to lane Zachar, etc. Good.
Speaking about kids, we have a father who showed up from whose son is in MDY Kids.
Yeah.
He's going out of town, and the kid wants to make sure to keep up the share, so he's getting now the downloaded share so he can send it his kid to go when he's going out of town.
He's doing what? He's going to learn it with this kid? Yeah.
His kid's going out of town, won't be here for the next few days.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting on his
the kid won't be here.
The kid won't be here,
so the father's downloading the Gila so they could learn. Beautiful. I want to tell you something else, Avi. This is not prepared. On the way here, it so happens to be, you can ask your son, I bumped into Mordechai. I said, where are you going? His son Mordechai is 12 years old. He's my son's very good friend. He said, I'm going to hear the shir. So I said, so you do 2 daf a day. He does Megillah at night, Nazir in the morning, and he goes to school for the rest of the day. It's unbelievable. He can finish Shas. He can finish Shas in 3.5 years. That's unbelievable. I asked him, so do you understand what's going on? He goes, Megillah more, Nazir less. That's what he said.
While you're talking,
especially yesterday's daf. Yeah, we have plenty of time. Yeah, go on.
Monday we're starting the international.
You don't know. I got an email yesterday from one of my favorite guys in the shir. Destroyed me. He goes, how dare you do a purim shpiel on my account? Now I learned less Torah. You're serious. Yeah, go on. Lema admosai admosai maders b'noi b'nazir at shiyavish teisaris will announce all announcements tomorrow. Divrei Rebbe. So Rebbe says that a father has the right to make his son a Nazir all the way to 13 plus teisaris until he's a gadol. Great. Rebbe Yosi, Rebbe Yehuda Omer achi yigia loinas nedarim. There's something called oinas nedarim, meaning 12 years old. When you ask a kid a few questions, he's mufla samach leish. Let me just show you this. Let me see if this button works. Not really, so you do it. Ish ki yafli neder. It's mufla samach leish. When you're within that year, so I asked this question yesterday, anticipating that we're going to learn this. The 12th year is different than the 11th year, and different than the 13th year. But in the 12th year, and there was a Maaser yesterday, I called up my son to verify the story, but he didn't know, but I asked my shver and he got me on track. When my son was 12 years old, Aro, my par, he was 12 years old, we were in Shul on Pesach night. It was the 1 year we didn't go to the hotel in all the years. And we were in Lincolnwood, and Rabbi Robinson came over to us and said, your son is 12 years old, he's a mufla samach leish, I need him. The story was that he did matzahs erev Pesach, and you're not supposed to take challah because you have small portions, so you add it all together, you do the challah at the end. He didn't take challah, he forgot to take challah in the erev Pesach matzah, you're in a rush. And now he has matzah that wasn't mufresh challah. Now that's a shayla if you have to be mufresh challah in America, there are bonons, maybe it happens automatically, the Mishnah Berurah says, whatever. But he was looking for a katan who's 12 years old, who's mufla samach leish, who could be mafresh challah on yantif, because a gadol cannot. But he's a katan, but it's not posh or a boy saying ask your local rav. But he was trying to do a trick where you have somebody who has enough das to be mafresh, but not enough godless to be over the isser. But you have to ask him questions to see if he's holding. So he asked my son, he said, when you make a shvuah, who are you making the shvuah to? And my son looks at him, he says, what is a shvuah? And he tells him, okay, you passed the test. Next, he was mafresh challah at the end. He was mafresh the challah. The American kid, what is a shvuah? Unbelievable. But your kid knows half a shas already. Next. My lavtanoi, the Rebbe Savar, halachi ben Nazir. Rebbe says, that it's halacha l'moish mesina that a father could take his kid and make him a nazir. Even though he became 12 years old, he's a mufla samach leish, and he can make his own nidarim because he's 12 years old. And nazirus is a type of neder. Nevertheless, the halacha l'moish mesina trumps this idea of mufla samach leish, and therefore the father wins, and the father makes him a Nazir, even though the son himself is in the parish of Nazirus and Nadarim, and he can do it himself, father wins. Rabbi Yosi, Rabbi Yehuda, maybe this is a machlokes. Rabbi Yosi, Rabbi Yehuda, the Amar Shegel Lonis Nedarim Savar. He says no, a father only has up until 12 years old. So the whole point is like Rish Lakish, to train him to do mitzvahs, to refrain from drinking wine, refrain from doing other things in life. The kivin the nafak mirshu say, Sulay Mechayev. Once the son came out of the father's rishus. What does it mean he came out of the father's rishus when he's 12 years old? For Nedarim, only for Nedarim, he's out of his father's rishus. Now he's about haki for Nedarim. Sulay Mechayev. Now the father doesn't have to do chinuch on something that the son is already involved himself. Says Gemara Amri Loi. There's no force. In other words, the Gemara is going to tell us it could go either way. This is what the Gemara does. The Gemara doesn't believe one way or another. The Gemara is saying you don't have a force. You can't prove to me that there's a machlokes Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish here. Maybe everybody holds like Rabbi Yochanan, or maybe everybody holds like Rish Lakish. The kuli almi halacha ben Nazir. Everybody's going to hold like Rabbi Yochanan that it's halacha l'meish mesinai v'hacha ben mufla samach le'ish kamifligi. And we're going to have a different machlokes in the parsha, in this idea of a 12-year-old who's called a mufla samach le'ish. Rebbe Savar mufla samach le'ish d'Rabbanan. His nedarim are d'Rabbanan. The fact that a 12-year-old can make a neder is only a d'Rabbanan halacha. V'asi d'Oraisa, and this d'Oraisa that the father can make his son a Nazir, dachi d'Rabbanan pushes off the d'Rabbanan. That's where Rebbe holds that a father can make him a Nazir all the way till 13. Rabbi Yosef reviewed the Savar, Mufla Samachlish, Deraisa. This whole concept of Mufla is Deraisa. And therefore, the father doesn't have, once he's in the parsha of Naziros, the father has no chinuch, he doesn't have the right anymore. Or you could view it the other way. The Kuli Alma, or everybody holds like Rish Lakish. Or Mufla Samachlish, Derabanani. Everybody's going to hold the concept of Mufla Samachlish is only a Derabanan concept. That he can make an Nedarim and do all these things when he's 12 years old is only a Derabanan. Rabbi Savar Asachin of Derabanan, V'dachi Mufla Samach Lish Derabanan. As we had yesterday, the concept of Chinuch sometimes overrides other concepts. Welcome back for today. How you doing? Is he back for a while or just for today? Okay. Yishmak, it's great to have you back. You still doing it every day? Wow. Going to school and doing it. Okay. Givaldi. No, he was here every day and then the school didn't let him come anymore. But even so, he still does the daf every day. Unbelievable. What? No, some schools don't allow it. Some schools allow it. Because if you come here, then you can't daven with them and they want you to daven. The whole thing. Fine. Yeah, the idea of chinuch is so strong. I want to teach my kid to refrain himself. It's going to override the halacha, the Rabbanan said that a kid can make his own adar. Yeah, we had yesterday. Chinuch is so strong that you could shecht an animal in the Beis Hamikdash when you don't need to. And you can do all these things that are the Rabbanans and be over because chinuch is very important. Why does it only go until 12 years old? The father can't do it past 12. Okay, it doesn't. Chinuch is not more important than another Rabbanan. In other words, because the son himself could do the Naziros by himself, so now the Chachamim didn't require a chinuch in that department because he could do it himself. He's already in his own parasha. Says the Gemara, "Lei mahane tanoi kahane tanoi." This machlokes that we just had now, not the machlokes of Yochanan and Shlakish, why a father's Maaser or son, but this machlokes of Rebbe and Rabbi Yosi. Until what point can a father make his son a Nazir? Till he's 13 or till he's 12? Lei mahane tanoi kahane tanoi. Says the Rosh here that this might be the only time in Shas, or the second he brings another place. He says in Masechtas Shabbos we have something similar. The lema ketanoi is always, lema means perhaps. Lema is a doubt. Perhaps this machlokes is like this machlokes. Over here you have lema ketanoi and it remains ketanoi. It is the machlokes. It's not lema. It's not perhaps. It's a lashon meshuna again. It's not 100% the right lashon. Lema ketanoi. Lema hani tanoi. Rebbe and Rabbi Yosi kahane tanoi are like similar tanoi. Desanya Maaser b'Reb Chanina. Maaser Rabbi Yosi. It's a story time. Where was it that we had stories that were Noirvayim stories? No, those were the best stories. But there's a Masechta, Erevin. Erevin? Who said Erevin? Erevin. Maaser, that a guy made an Erev and he walked 5 feet. Okay, great. You get all excited. Oh, there's a Maaser. No. Okay. Maaser, Reb Chanina, Shedira Aviv. This is an interesting story. Reb Chanina's father, Shedira Aviv ben Nazir, made him a Nazir. He brings the young Chanina to Reb Gamliel. So one pshat is, right now we're holding that he wanted to see if he's a gadol. In other words, he was already more than 13 years old. Yet we need to find out for sure, is he a gadol or not? Try to check him. He said, wait a minute, we got to do a little check to see if the shtei saros. It didn't happen. Wait. Don't get all nervous. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Leida imigia loinas nedarmin lav. Rabbi Yossi says, no. Calm down. He was checking him like that Rav, like Rabbi Robinson checked my son. He asked him questions to see if he's a 12-year-old that understands or not. Okay. So, that's the machlokes we had until now. Rebbe and Rabbi Yossi. Is it until 13? Or is it... Boys, you might as well say it out loud. Everybody understands what you're talking about here. He was going, yeah, and this guy, yeah. Weiter. Okay, you want weiter, but don't whisper. So, the shaila is, Shtei Saris means, is he 13? That's Rebbe Shita. Rabbi Yossi says, till 12. Oines Nadarim, is he a 12-year-old? So this mamish the shaila. Can a father impose the Nazirus on the son up until 13 or up until 12? That's what Reb Gamliel was checking. So that's our machlokes, mamish our machlokes. What exactly was Igor Gamliel checking? Oh my Lord, listen to this. This is a kid, right? He's a 12-year-old. He's in the...
13. He's 13.
No. The first thing he was 13. The second one not.
Right.
No. What does that mean?
He says
That
he
part.
was 12 years old.
Time out. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Leida Migia Loinus Nedarim Lav. Well, let's see
He
that.
says he was 12. Yossi says
Let's see a little weiter. You might be onto something. Hold on. But right now, the way I understand it is Rabbi Yossi was checking he was 12, and he was checking he was 13. The what? He says he sees in Taisus the opposite. So you hold Taisus like me.
He says Mefurish that it's 12.
Okay. What's on? It's Nadar. It could be there's different ways to learn because I think my Chavrus was learning like you. I don't know. Okay, fine. Omar Loy. Rebbe, Al-Tistar Lebatkeni, says Chanina, the young Chanina says, don't even try checking me. You don't have to. Why? Miman of Shach. Im Katarani, my father wants me to be a Nazir. So if I'm taka a katan, I'll accept the Nazirus because my father decided I'm a Nazir. Im Gadolani, and if I'm big enough, then I'll be a Nazir on my own. I'm a Gadol. This today would be a problem, but I think no, be'emes. Seriously speaking, this to me is unbelievable chinuch. Omar, this kid is going to grow up to be a gadol. That's chinuch. You give a kid a kiss on the head, and you give the kid a compliment. And I want to say, even though I probably shouldn't, but when I once heard Oprah Winfrey say, I heard herself say, that when she was a little kid, a woman came to her, I think she said a white woman came to her, and told her, you're going to be something special. You're a special kid. And that stuck to her. Even though she was 6-7 years old, it went into her head and stuck. And then she happens to be, I don't know if it's anything, she happens to be the third wealthiest African American in America. She's worth $3 billion or something. So if money means anything, she made it. If you're talking about other things, she didn't. Okay, fine. Huh? What? He didn't kiss me. He gave me a gizunta fras, but I got to talk to him about that. Different time, not in front of everybody. No. He wasn't the principal then. He was? And I'll tell you this. This is Miragish. And this you're going to love, and you're going to use this in your next purim shpiel. You know this Maaser, but I'll say it again here. When I was a little kid, I was a Litvak, and my father was not so into Rebbes and Hasidim, but there was one Rebbe that he loved, and there was the Ribnitzer Rebbe. And the Ribnitzer Rebbe told me, he put me on his lap, he says, you're going to be Gal Adar. And all the said, ooh, he said about, yeah. And every once in a while, my father would remind me. So when I went to work, I remember, Ribnitzer Rebbe, he didn't know what he's talking about. But there was always a chip on my shoulder. And I'm serious, this line, even though I wasn't a chassid and today I'm a much bigger chassid of his because I realized who he is now. Then I didn't know anything. But a line that a random person, to me he was random. He said, it stuck in me and it was like, I felt bad. Wait a minute, he told me I'm going to be Gal Adar and now I'm working, I'm doing real estate. Doesn't make it. You don't know what HBA it has. You should go around telling people this thing.
I think he meant the doorknob.
That's it. Hello, I'm in charge here. I'm going to tell you, you're not doing the Boruch next year. What are you going to do with all your time now? He's not going to be Gal Adar. Dor Hamapo. Wow. Okay, weiter. Seriously, not that I'm going to be Gal Adar, Chas Shalom, but it makes HBA. It does make HBA when you tell somebody something. Next. Wow, I got to learn. We didn't even make it to today's daf. Says the Gemara, I can't read anymore now. Look what you did to me. You messed up my eyes.
The makeup is coming off.
Wow. Better than yesterday.
I can just see it in the thing. The Nachman cells are coming from the top down, and he's screaming out. The makeup is coming off, and I'm going to have makeup coming. Okay. No, I have tears in my eyes and messed up my thing. Weiter. Move the Oh, Nachama, what happened there? He gave him a kiss on the head, and he said, Muftachani, look, I'm certain, Shemayra Aloch Yisrael, this guy's going to be, this Chanina kid is going to be Gal Adar, and he turned out to be Rebbe Chanina. Amru, immediately it came true. Shloima, Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda, the Amar HBA Group. Whoa, can't read. I just can't read. Okay.
No, you want to take over?
Fine. Whatever it says here. According to him, I understand what's going on here. Now the Gemara has a funny havamina, which the Gemara goes away from it very quickly. But the Gemara understands that we're talking about I'm a katan when it comes to nedarim. I don't understand what's flying, and my father's in charge. And I'm a gadol when it comes to nedarim. In other words, I'm not a gadol. I'm 12 years old. I'm mufla samachlish. Rebbe says that the father can't do anything past 13. And if I'm an adult, what is adult? The Gemara understands now, and everybody's not going to like it, but the Gemara understands gadol means that he's mufla samach la'ish. He's not 13, he's only 12. But when it comes to nedarim, he's a gadol. As the Gemara, but wait a minute. According to Rebbe, if the word gadol means nedarim, and according to Rebbe, even when he gets to Einas nedarim, he's still in the father's rishos. So how could Chanina say, if I'm 12 years old, I'll do it on my own? He can't do it on his own, according to Rebbe. According to Rebbe, up until 13, the father has full rishos when it comes to Naziros. So what's the answer? That he didn't mean gadol 12 years old, he meant gadol 13 years old. The Gemara understands now, gadol means 12 years old. Mufla samach lish. The Gemara has a problem with that. According to Rebbe, it shouldn't work. The Gemara says, Elo the Omer, hey b'shvil Abba, hey b'shvil Atzmi. Basically, the Gemara is saying, no, what he meant is, if I'm already 13, then I'll do it on my own. What?
Also, he can't make himself a this. The father has prayer and he can't. When it's moved out so much later, he can't make himself.
Why should he? Yeah. No, he's under his father's domain. Could be. I don't know. Says the Gemara, here, just a small little chart here. Here you have a guy says, my son should be a Nazir. So basically, this 3 stages here. Stage 1 is, you're a Nazir for 30 days. So on top, in green, let's say he became a Gadol before it even started. Okay, so he took over, the son takes over. Chanina, we're talking about Chanina now. This is not a good picture, this is not Chanina. Okay, but let's say. So this is lit and lit up, but okay, it's supposed to be Chanina. If it's before it started, he's in charge. If he became a Gadol after he already finished, it's already too late, his father made him a Nazir. What if he becomes a Gadol smack in the middle of the 30 days? You know what happens? It ruins everything. His Gadlus is mafkia the Nazirus. Says the Gemara, if he was a Gadol before it even started, so then Chanina said, I'm accepting upon myself Nazirus. So he accepted upon himself Nazirus. He's a Gadol. He could accept upon himself Nazirus. He wants to honor his father. He sees his father is very important to his father that he should be a Nazir. I'll make myself a Nazir even though I'm 13 and a half years old. I'm 15 years old. I don't care. I'll be a Nazir. No problem. And if it's ybl'c, and if he became a Gadol after 13, after the Nazirus is over in step 2 over there, so Chaim ben Nazirus Davua. Then his father made him a Nazir, and he did the whole 30 days under his father's Nazirus. But if he became a Nazir smack in the middle of the 30 days, what happens? So according to Rabbi Yehуда, who says that the father only has the right to make him a Nazir until Mufla Samach Lish, until let's say 13. So now he became 13, where the arrow is smack in the middle of the 30 days. That's not such a problem. Why? Because Mufla Samach Lish, we're going to learn according to the sheet that says that's only a D'Rabbanan kind of halacha. And that D'Rabbanan halacha doesn't make the Nazirus expire. The father said you should be a Nazir, so he did 1, 2, 3, 15 days, let's say, and then he became 12 years old, Mufla Samach Lish, Midrabbana, and he could do his own Nazirus. It doesn't make his father's Nazirus expire because it's only the Rabbana. But according to Rebbe, in that case, that he became a real full-fledged Gadol, his father's Nazirus should expire. Okay, so what's the problem? So if his father's Nazirus expires, how is he going to bring Karbanis now? What's going to happen? Michael and Meimar says Gemara, Amri Rebbe leketakanta. You're right. According to Rebbe, if that happens, you don't have any solution. Adi Yosef di Levi Yosef Davui. So he must do 30 days for his father. Once he becomes a full-fledged Gadol, he does another 30 days because he becomes, let's say, in day 15 he becomes a Gadol. So now he has to do another 30 days on his own. Then at the end he brings Karbanas. He only has to bring one time Karbanas. Because if his father's Nazirus works, he'll bring the Karbanas for his father. If his Nazirus works, he brings. But one set of Karbanas is fine. But he would have to take upon himself the extra days to make sure that he has a full-fledged Nazirus D'Oraisa. Says the Mishnah.
30.
He would have to do another 30. Yeah, whatever. I don't know if the first one is 30. From whenever he becomes a Gadol.
First one, he's mashlim for the father's piece, and then he does another 30. He does 60.
So he would be mashlim?
He'd be mashlim. He did 15, does another 15, and then 30.
Why would he have to be mashlim? I'm not sure.
30.
Okay, I think that's how I learned in the beginning, but I'm not sure now why he would have to be mashlim. What's the Shloma for? Why do you have to be mashlim? Right now he's a Gadol.
For the first Nazirus.
Right now he's a Gadol, but
He's doing it for his
Father.
but right now I'm doing 30 anyways. Right now I'm doing 30 for myself. So what's the difference if I'm? Why do I have to do 15 for the father? Right now I'm just continuing my own Nazirus, 30, and in that should be 15 for the father. I don't know. Okay. The official Mishnah, sponsored by Mordche Spazing, Zech Nishmas, Rav Feivel Cohen, Rav Shraga Feivel Ben Rav Eliezer Kohen, Zech Tzal Givrach Lim Mechaber, or Ba'al Shulchan. What are you saying?
It should be neshach within the 30.
Yeah. That's why I don't know. I might be wrong. He says he has to be mashlim 30. Okay. Says the Mishnah. Ha'ish migalech al nazirus aviv. So this is Rabbi said we had this. It's very repetitive, this Masechta. a son could use the father's money that the father set aside. Let me see if I have it here. The father is a Nazir. He set aside money. And then the father dies. Oh, by the way, I have to do this. Hold on a second. Before you show this, take this off the screen for a second. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Right here. Okay, good. A woman cannot use her father's money that he designated on the side. The father had money designated for his Naziros. A man could use it, the son could use it, not a daughter. Now, Ketzad, how does it work? So now we have to read the Girsas Harash and Taisvas. Again, Naziros, Lashon Meshuna. But we'll see in the Gemara brings this Lashon. So it's either this Lashon or the Lashon of the Mishnah, which is basically reversed. So, but we learned this Lashon up until now, and we'll be getting familiar with this, or we're going to go with this. The article goes with this, the Rush, we always learn with the Rush, and Taisa. So, Misha Yahu v'Aviv Nazirim. If both of them together, remember the father and the son are already Nazirim, and the father separated money, could the son use that money? No. We learned no. It's only if the son becomes a Nazir after the death of his father. That's this Girs in the Mishnah. Misha Yahu v'Aviv Nazirim v'Ivrish Mois Tumim al Nazirusay Umeis. He separated money on the side. Rabbi Yossi, Hare LEYLU NISHMAS. The Gemara is going to discuss. Does anybody argue with Rabbi Yossi? It just says Rabbi Yossi. Nobody else argues in this Mishnah. Hare LEYLU NISHMAS. Why? Because the son and the father are together Nazirim. So once the father dies, the son has no right to take that money and use it towards his Nazirus. So everything goes to the pushka of Nadava. Ein ze megaleach al Nazirus aviv. Over here we do not have a halacha of megaleach. He cannot use his father's money. What is the case? Very, very simple, Rabbi. He was a Nazir, and he set aside money, and then he died. Then, the son comes along, I want to use my father's money. That is the case of Giluach al Nazirus Aviv. That's the end of the Mishnah. Says the Gemara. My timer. Huh? Yeah, I want to use my father's money. Yeah. So the Gemara says, my timer. This is not working so well. Okay, here. You're going to read it for us? Thank you. Rabbi Yochanan says that the fact that the son could use the father's money is halacha l'Moshe Messinai. Pshita, Maila Memra, the Ben Yerush is of Bas Loi. What are you telling me? That obviously the son could use the money and not the daughter. You don't need halacha l'Moshe Messinai because it's the son who inherits the father, not the daughter. Says Gemara like tzricha the less leila bas. We're talking about a case where there are no sons, so the daughter yarshins everything. Now the same yarshin gemir in law. Well, the reason why the son gets to use the money is out of inheritance in Yerusha. So she inherits now. She's the one, so she can inherit the money and use it towards her naziros. Kamashma lo halacha. That's why the Gemara says no. This is halacha l'Moshe Messinai. The daughter does not inherit, in this case, even though she inherits all the nechasim, she's not going to inherit this money to use it towards her naziros. La'atzlacha for the Maggid Shir and the members of the HBA Group and their families on Maine, and the new one, Hatzlacha Yerlei ben Aliza Simcha Sheina Masha and Aliza Simcha Sheina Masha Bad Bracha. Ibaylu. Pligi Rabbanan Alei the Rabbi Yossi Eloi Pligi. Is there anyone in the Mishnah, are the Tanaim that argue on Rabbi Yossi? Again, Rabbi Yossi says that it's only after the death of the father could a son become a Nazir on condition that he could use the money, and if they're together, Nazirim, he cannot use the money. If you say that somebody argues Aresha, do they argue that in all cases, even when the father and the son are together Nazirim in life, the son could use the money? Or Aseifa, even when the son becomes a Nazir after the death of the father, the son can't use it. Tashma. Now here's where the girsa comes. This is why the Rosh and Taisus took this girsa. Because look at this. This is mamish how we read it, not like it says it in the Mishnah. What's the case? This is like a freebie. The father was a Nazir. This is the Sefer of our Mishnah before the Reisha, okay? But this is Sefer. The father was a Nazir, and then he died. He set money aside, and then he died. And then only after the death of I want to use my father's money. That's Rabbi Yosi. You could use that money. This is the Reisha of our Mishnah. But if they were Nazirim together when the father was still alive, and then he set aside money. Is everybody getting it? It's so simple. Does he become a Nazir when the father is alive, or does he become a Nazir when the father is dead? In the Mishnah says, when the father, according to the gears of the Rosh Taisus, if he becomes another when the father is dead, then he can use the money. But if he became a Nazir, the son, when the father is alive, he cannot use the money. That's it. End of story. So this is the gears of Taisus and the Rosh, and that's why they changed the gears, I think. And then comes Rabbi Eliezer, which we don't have in our Mishnah. Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yehuda. Here's Chachamim, Amru, Zeu Shmegalech HaMoisaviv. That in other words, on the Reisha, even though they argue in the Reisha that what? Hu v'aviv Nazir v'yifreshav ma'is Nazir sumeis harei yiplu l'nedava. If the father were together, so in other words, they say even if the Nazirus occurred, if the father and son were together Nazirim, before the father died, the son was a Nazir, and he separated money, that's good enough to use the money after the father's death for the son's karbanas. Boi Rabba. Yesh lo ishnei banim nazirim ma'u. So now, it doesn't matter. You could read it any way you want. We have one shita called Rabbi Yosi that says they became nazirim when? After the death of the father. We have Chachamim who say they became nazirim before the death of the father. Either way, he has two sons. By the way, look it up. Maaser Shahaya, a guy called his kid Winner. Al Shem, the Rebbe Rebbe. And then his name was Lane. So Winner Lane. And then he had another kid. So I think his daughter piped up and said, you got to call the brother Loser. Oh, Moridek. So he has two sons, Winner and Loser. Maaser Shahaya. And then it turned out the Winner became a big criminal, and Loser became a sergeant in the police department. Ayin Sham. So now we have Shnei Banim, Winner and Loser. Yesh le Shnei Banim Nazir Ma'u. Hilchas Gemirin Law, called the Kodim Galach Galeach, the one who decided first to become a Nazir, not the one that ends his Nazirs, the one that decided first to become a Nazir, he gets to keep all of the father's designated money for his Naziros. Or Dilma, Yerusha Gemirin Law, Upalga, or perhaps they have to divide it as a Yerusha. By Rava, B'charu Pashut, Mai. What if you have two sons? One is a B'char, and a B'char gets Pishnayim. Why? Why does a B'char get Pishnayim? Because he's the guinea pig. You don't know, none of you are B'charim? You're not a B'char, you're also a Pashut. And you're also a Ben Yachid. You're nothing. You get Pi Chamesh. You get Pi Chamesh. You get everything. You get everything. You're the guinea pig and the guinea pig and the guinea pig. It's the whole of your life. Fine. You don't count. Anybody here a B'char? Okay. If you're a B'char, you know what I'm talking about. We got double patch, double punishments, double ADD, everything double. B'char Pashat Mai. Hilchas Gemirin Law. V'hilkach Leiboiga Luchei Lepumai Deshakel. This might be Allah Sinai, not correlated to, let's stop over here. I see Noam's leaving. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.